It's coming. It's getting there. They are also going to be coming and getting there soon. Hello friends and enemies, welcome to day 18 of Writemas, aka Vlogmas writing edition. So yesterday we got to a pretty interesting start since I removed over 1,000 words. And that was mostly just from me combining two chapters that I had already written. Luckily I was able to make up for it and wrote instead over 2,000 words. Or 3,000, I don't know. Scrivener tracks word counts kind of weirdly. But either way, we took one step back and 2 steps forward. And we're jumping into this writing session with a pretty tall order. According to Scrivener, my session target for today is 2,419 words. And honestly, I'm about to start this chapter and I don't really know how it's gonna go because we ended the last session with the end of a chapter, which is not really my ideal situation. I like ending my writing sessions in the middle of the chapter just so that I could pick up where I left off and just keep the momentum going. But you know what? We're gonna try our best and see how tonight goes. I'm getting a little bit of an early start, so that should help. Enough yapping from me. Let's get into this first writing session. Hello, it is currently 8:39 p.m. I just finished up my first writing sprint and I have written 269 words. Again, we're just kind of warming up over here. I decided to go in and fill in some sections from a previous chapter that I kind of left blank for now. So I was like, oh, I know what to put here. So I spent a little time doing that and then looking up a little bit of like flight research. They're flying from one destination to another. Granted, they're taking a private jet, so I'm like, it's not going to take as long as like a regular like commercial flight or whatever. But I realized even on a non-stop flight, the place that I need them to fly to is much further than I thought it was going to be. So I was like, okay, that makes sense in the context of like the rest of the chapters after it. So I was like, okay, we're good. Fact checking is good. I think in my next writing sprint, I'm going to probably just pop in here and there on like the chapters I worked on last night and try to like fill in some of the placeholder stuff that I had. Just because like I'm still not too sure about what I want to happen in the next chapter that I need to work on. Because again, I think this is also where I stopped in the last draft. But we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a break, get back into my writing sprint, and see y'all afterwards. Hello, it is now 9:15 p.m. I finished my writing sprint a little bit earlier and I got distracted because I was like, I need to do this one thing before like I forget. Then I was like, oh wait, I need to do my recap before I forget that. So anyways, I'm here. In total for tonight, I have written 585 words, which is pretty good. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm writing for this chapter, but I think now I have a good idea of what I want it to be. Which, yes, means we do get to our first spicy scene of the book. I was really drawing out this will they or won't they for myself even, so I'm happy we've gotten to that point. I'm not 100% sure if this is a good time to like put it there though, but we'll see. I think I can make something happen. Like, not gonna lie, I'm a little excited to get into it because this book being a second chance romance with fake relationship and forced proximity, it's just recipe for disaster. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna take a break, go into this writing sprint where I hopefully get to at least start this spicy scene. Then I will catch y'all afterwards. Hello, it is currently 9:48. I just finished up a writing sprint and so far I have written 1,078 words for the entire night. I feel like there was one point where I was just like clicky clacking so fast on my keyboard because I was really getting into the zone. Like I was copying and pasting a few things from a previous draft, but like changing the context of everything into this current draft because I was like, oh, this would make sense here. This would be good here. So I was really happy about that. So I decided for this chapter, I was going to split it up into 2 sections. You kind of know how in like some books, like a chapter will have like a little break in between. There's not really like a good transition from like one scene to the next. So they kind of just have like a little like break in it. I decided to do that because I felt like there wasn't really any appropriate like break in between those 2 scenes. Like I could probably come up with a transition, but I was just like, it doesn't like make too much sense. Like I could probably tie up with a paragraph, but I'm like, I don't have the energy for that. It's just gonna be another like section, but like still within the chapter. I don't know. It'll make sense once this thing is published. Or maybe who knows, maybe I'll put it all in like one scene and I won't do like a break in the chapter. But anyways, I digress. I will say we are getting to a point in the main character's relationship where they're like let's not have this tension, let's not fight, at least for this mission. They still have not addressed the issues as to why they had a fallout like years ago. We're kind of just like brushing it under the rug for now. They're like, we just got a job to do, just focus on the job, just focus on the job. Because essentially this is their job. This is what they have to do. They have to pretend that they're on their honeymoon, all for their work. So we'll see how that goes. Also, in anticipation for this steamy scene, I like changed up my writing playlist because I realized I don't have any songs that would fit this steamy scene. So I'm kind of just like bopping around for different songs, trying to be like, oh, what would fit the mood of this? Because right now, all of the songs on my playlist are kind of just angsty. Angsty and kind of like fluffy, lovey-dovey, which is not the case for their steamy scenes. So right now, I'm just like listening to a little bit of Zayn's discography because if I haven't mentioned this before, but I am a directioner, and I feel like some of Zayn's solo stuff would fit this couple, but like I haven't listened to it in a while, so I'm like, let me go find some stuff, let me go see if there's anything that fits, because I'm very familiar with One Direction's discography, but I'm not too familiar with their solo stuff, so we're just listening to some of his things. The song is not appropriate for this steamy scene, but the first song that I started listening to was Stardust. I watched a live stream of his Wolverhampton show, started crying when that song came on during the concert. Basically, he plays that song at the end of the concert and he does a little tribute to Liam Payne. So I was like, I'm just gonna let this song play out. It's not gonna fit for my playlist, but we're gonna play it out. So with that, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to hop back into my writing sprint, hopefully find a song that fits this scene, and then catch up with y'all after the sprint. Hello, it is currently 11 o'clock. I just finished up my writing sprint, and for the entire night, I have written 1,811 words. I took a really long break in between my last sprint and this sprint, mostly because I wanted to dry my hair because it's getting late, and I'm like, I don't want to sleep with wet hair. Also, I made myself a little bit of Nutella toast because I was like, I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat that much. So I just have a plate full of crumbs on my desk now. But I think I did pretty okay with this writing sprint. We are getting into some like the steamy romancy bits, but admittedly, I did a lot of copying and pasting just because I'm like, there's just something off right now. I think just because there hasn't been a lot of like sexual tension leading up to it. There's definitely been a lot of tension between them, but there's nothing sexual about it. Or maybe it is, like, there's a reason why Aries and Aphrodite are always together. But yeah, I made a note for myself in the previous section that I need to add a little bit more sexual tension just for the lead up into this. Because for me, at least right now, it feels pretty jarring. And if I think the characters are going from 0 to 100 like real quick, readers are also probably going to feel like this is kind of coming out of nowhere. So I might want to like spend some time either during the break or during the next sprint just brainstorming ways to help lead up into this moment, because in previous drafts the sexual tension was there, or at least I think it was there. Meanwhile this, I know I've made it a lot angstier, so there's not as much like flirting, not as much sexual tension. It's them kind of just like being angry at each other and just being angsty. So I'd have to see where else I could drop little like tidbits and hints that like it's coming, it's getting there, they are also going to be coming and getting there soon. So I'll give myself a break, try to mull this over, and then see y'all after the next writing sprint. Hello, it is currently 11:35. I just finished up a writing sprint and I have officially met my session target. It says in Scrivener that I have written 2,489 words out of 2,419 words. We finally got to the steamy bits and I am excited, but also still a little bit concerned because of just like the pacing of everything. Like I had mentioned before, I'm just like a little bit concerned that it's kind of coming out of nowhere and that I didn't put enough of a lead up into it. So I tried looking at the previous chapter and I'm like, I don't know if there's like any places to put this. There probably is like a place I could put it. I just can't see it once I'm like in the moment. So I might have to like figure that out tomorrow or something. But overall, not bad. I got a lot done tonight and I'm trying to decide if I want to do like one more writing sprint. Because part of me is like, yeah, you can definitely do it. And another part of me is just like, you're fine. Just like end in the middle of the scene like you usually do. So when you start the session tomorrow, you could just jump right back in. So I think I'll take a writing break, see if I want to continue writing, and then check back in. Hello, it is currently 12:03 a.m. I just finished up a writing sprint and I have written in total for the night 2,657 words. I have this like weighted neck thing on me just because I had slept funnily the other night and I was like in so much pain. My sister gave this to me and surprisingly it's working. I don't know what it is, but it's maybe it's like a placebo effect, but there's just really something comforting about this on me right now. So anyways, back to the writing. I think I did a pretty okay job during the sprint. As much as I wanted to go into the steamy bit, I was like, I need to fix the lead up into this because it's just too jarring for me right now and I can't concentrate on like the actual steamy bit. So I was like, let me go back, let me like take a few steps back and try to like make it make sense. And I think I'm getting there. I'm trying to get them so it's not like angsty tension and like now more sexual tension, but that also means that they kind of have to suck it up and address some elephants in the room and not the elephant placeholders that I've been putting throughout this draft. So we're having them slowly but surely work on their relationship because I would really like for them to kiss because they want to, not because they have to like put on a show or anything for this mission. Despite popular belief, you can't just have two characters and go now kiss. It's like 1,000 times more satisfying when you have the build up to it. But on that note, I think I'm gonna end it for tonight. It's perfect. We're in the middle of a scene. I'm gonna write a little note on like things that I should work on for the next writing session, and hopefully it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And if not, we can cry about it together. Thank you so much for joining me in my writing and my yapping. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!